Libra, this month is all about creating a sacred space with which you can think clearly, create, and manifest. You guys are undergoing a huge transformation, but not in the way that you may think. This is all about getting back to yourself before life got really difficult and challenging and unpleasant. Get ready because this month is going to show you exactly who you are. You want to know more? Keep watching and I'll explain all about it. What's up, Libra? It's your girl Mel of Divine Feminine Works, and as always, I hope that this video finds you well and in excellent spirits. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, and spirituality. So if those are the things that interest you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. All right, Libra, this is going to be the astro forecast and tarot scope for you for the month of February 2021. As always, I have to preface this video by saying that the astro forecast is based on your rising sign. So at least the astrology, I always say that's so weird. The astrology part of this video is for Libra rising. That's not to say if you're a Libra sun, you can't watch this video. It's just the first part is for Libra risings. The tarot portion can really apply if you are a Libra sun, moon, or rising. So my suggestion is that you watch the videos for your sun and rising signs. You may even want to watch the video for your moon sign so you get a complete picture of what February is for you. And if you don't know what your rising sign is, go to a site like astro.com, and I'll leave the link in the description box below so you can put in your birth time, location, and date. On the site, it'll generate a natal chart for you, and then you can get all the information regarding your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right. So now that we've gotten the technical stuff out of the way, let's get into the real juicy stuff, which is the astrology for this month. So February 2021 is arguably one of the most important months of 2021. And that's because we have a stellium in Aquarius that is giving us a ton of planetary energy that's like concentrated in one little space, in one sort of area of your life. Now, as a sign, Aquarius is very futuristic, forward-looking, independent, autonomous, and rebellious. So this energy that we're all feeling this month is really sort of ground zero and the start of setting a new foundation, a foundation that was knocked over and knocked down in 2020. I feel like 2020 was very much like a year of endings, and it's almost like there was a huge bulldozer that just like destroyed everything in 2020. But now that we're in 2021, I feel like we have this clean slate to start, and we have this energy of renewal and rebirth that is thanks to Aquarius this month. And with 6 planets in the sign of Aquarius this month, it's almost like a complete reset for us. So it definitely is like the beginning of the beginning. That's what I feel like February is for us. And for you, Libra, all of this planetary energy in Aquarius is going down in your 5th house of self-expression, romance, and children. So this is I love the 5th house. The 5th house is a very lighthearted and sort of fun area of life. It governs our self-expression, so it governs our creative endeavors. It covers romance, entertainment, fun, sports. It also covers our relationship with our children, whether it's children that we have, that we create. I mean, children are a part of our self-expression, right? They're an expression of us. Or it sort of speaks to the child within us, that childlike energy that a lot of us lose in adulthood. It's everything fun. So I definitely love the 5th house. And that's where you guys are experiencing this renewal and this reset. So for you, Libra, I feel like February may be a month of like fun, and it may be a light-hearted month with I'm tongue-tied here. It may be a light-hearted month where you're sort of taking a little break from the heaviness of 2020. So I feel like that's a good thing for you guys. And I feel like it's setting the stage for a new foundation. So for some of you, I feel like the old way of life for you may have been very rigid, it may have been very structured, and it may have been focused on your obligations and responsibilities. Whereas this Aquarian energy is really showing you the lighter side of life and showing you how you can sort of incorporate that into your life going forward now that we all have this reset and this rebirth. So I think that you are on the brink of some good stuff, but definitely in a way that's not as severe and serious as life may have been for you in the past, right? And I feel like for a lot of you, this may have to do with children. It may have to do with how you deal with your own children, or it may be about incorporating children into your life going forward. The fifth house also deals with things that we love. It's the center of the heart, right? The fifth house is all about having heart. So it's about having courage, but it's also listening to your inner child and to the things that you really want. So I feel like maybe going forward for you, Libra, you may be listening more to your heart. You may be doing more what your heart says and what your heart speaks to you. And for some of you, that may involve expressing yourself more. For some of you, it may involve just having more fun in your life and incorporating more fun and entertainment in your life. And for others, like I said before, it may have to do with your kids. That's really where your focus is this month, right? At least for the beginning of the month, while the sun is still in Aquarius. On February 18th, the sun is going to make its way into Pisces, and this is going to light up your sixth house of work and health. So come February 18th, that sort of fun energy is going to like switch up into a more serious work and health sort of focus. So by the time the sun moves into Pisces, I feel like you guys are going to be focused on organizing, working efficiently, being of service to others, and getting healthy. So for some of you, you may be very much in service to others. This may include volunteer work, or it may just be a lot of service-oriented work that you guys do around that time. When it comes to health, I feel like you guys are going to get healthy. I think that a lot of you are going to be examining your health situations from the past and maybe trying to ameliorate or change those. You may be trying to start a new diet, lose weight, start working out or gaining weight, or you get the idea. But I feel like once the sun moves into Pisces, that's where your focus is going to shift. All right, so let's keep it moving and let's talk about the moon. So this month we had a new moon in the sign of Aquarius along with everything else. And we have a full moon in the sign of Virgo on February 27th. So back on February 11th, we had a new moon, like I said, in the sign of Aquarius. And new moons are all about setting intentions, planting new seeds that you want to grow. Being that this is happening in your fifth house and in the sign of Aquarius, I feel like this particular new moon was really about setting the stage for your future and doing so in a way where you could uniquely express yourself and have more fun in your life. So I feel like you guys were really thinking about yourselves when it came to this new moon and how you can express yourself and live life in a way that is really reflective of your passions and your desires. For some of you, this may have involved children, like I said before. For others of you, it may have involved dating, since the fifth house governs romance and like dating and stuff like that. Some of you may have wanted to incorporate more of that in your life. Some of you may have wanted to get back out there. Some of you may have gotten clear on what it is that you don't want when it comes to dating and relationships. But regardless, I feel like the energy of the new moon back on February 11th got your wheels turning in your mind and sort of getting you to think about what your future wants, what you want your future to look like. All right. So that was the new moon. So now let's shift gears and talk about the full moon happening on February 27th. This is happening in Virgo, which is your 12th house of solitude and confinement. So with full moons, they illuminate in one of two ways, or both sometimes. So the first way that full moons illuminate is that they show you the culmination of events and things that had started 6 months prior. So think back to 6 months ago during the Virgo new moon. What is it that what seeds did you plant around that time? What new projects did you want to start? Being that this is taking place in your 12th house, this may have to do with your spirituality. This may have to do with your karma. So some of you may be experiencing karma for past actions, particularly those that happened around 6 months ago. The other way that this full moon can illuminate is that it sheds light on things that were once hidden in the dark. So for you, Libra, with this again happening in your 12th house of solitude and confinement, you may have emotions, emotional wounds, emotional trauma that may come up with this full moon. Things that you may have tried to stuff underneath the surface and not address or process, some of that may come up with the full moon. And you should expect the unexpected, because the full moon is going to be trine to Uranus. So it's about surprises. It's about sudden happening. So something may suddenly jog your emotional memory and bring up some past emotional trauma. So get ready. I mean, it might be a little intense. It could go either way. It could be good or bad. But regardless, this is sort of helping you in your personal development. So whatever you've been ignoring, what you haven't been processing is going to come up so you can finally process it, release it, and move on. All right, so that's the full moon happening in the sign of Virgo, again on February 27th. So now I want to talk about Mercury, because Mercury has been on our lips since last month when it went retrograde. Now, everyone always gets up in arms about Mercury retrograde because they're like, oh my gosh, the world is ending. Mercury retrograde, I can't do anything. And that's definitely not true. I mean, how long has Mercury retrograde been happening? Like for eons, right? All your life, Mercury retrograde has been happening. And some of you have just gotten hip to Mercury retrograde right now. So what do you think your life was like when you didn't know about Mercury retrograde? Did it stop? Did it suddenly implode? Of course not. But now that you're cognizant of it, I feel like everyone gets up in arms about it. But it's really not that bad. So of course, especially being in the sign of Aquarius, Mercury retrograde was all about electronics breaking down, your laptop crashing, accidents, the normal Mercury retrograde stuff. But the one thing that people don't talk about enough, I think, when it comes to Mercury retrograde is the fact that it allows you to reflect and remember. And it also allows us to a certain extent to redo certain things from the past. So it's almost like we get a do-over. And for Libra, for you, this is happening in your 5th house of self-expression. So for you, there may be something that your heart desired. There may be something that you wanted to accomplish, or a certain way that you want to express yourself from the past that maybe you thought you couldn't. Like I said, I feel like a lot of you had a lot of responsibilities and obligations that you were focused on, more so than what your heart really desired. And now with Mercury retrograde happening in your 5th house, I think now you have the opportunity to revisit those things and incorporate those things in your life going forward. It's like your memory is jogged back to the things that you love, back to the things that maybe your inner child is reminding you of, or maybe your children are reminding you of, that you can now incorporate in your life going forward. Mercury is set to go direct on February 20th. So come February 20th, I feel like everything is going to go back to normal for the most part. But also an important distinction for you, Libra, is that people always say with Mercury retrograde, like exes come back. And that's not true for everybody, because it always depends on where Mercury is in your chart. But since Mercury is actually in your house of romance and dating, you are the sign that actually may experience exes coming back. So you either may feel like you want to reach out to an ex, or an ex may reach out to you, but you guys definitely experience the return of the ex with the whole Mercury retrograde thing. So enjoy it. I mean, some of you may be like, hell nah. If I left someone in the past, I left them in the past for a reason. So you may not want to revisit that. But for some of you, an old flame may come back up. Y'all may rekindle, and you never know. You may have a future this time around. All right. So that is what Mercury is looking like for you. And finally, I want to talk about Venus, because Venus is making some moves this month. So back on February 1st, Venus made her way into Aquarius with everyone else. And again, this was your 5th house of self-expression, romance, and kids. Venus brings people together. Venus is sort of the romance planet. So for you guys, I feel like February, especially with Valentine's Day, this is like perfect for you guys. You guys were the one who were very, you guys are relationship oriented generally. That's just Libra in general. But with the presence of Venus in your 5th house, I think that romance and dating was really on your mind this month. I feel like that was something that you were really engaged in. Again, I feel like some of you maybe have gotten out there dating. Maybe some of you had started really listening to your heart when it comes to dating and maybe setting boundaries. But regardless, I feel like dating and all of that stuff really was a theme for you in February and will continue to be a theme until Venus moves into Pisces on February 25th. And at that time, Venus is going to move into your 6th house of work and health. So for you guys, at that time, your work relationships or your relationships with clients and customers are going to come into the fold. I also feel like some of you may be able to find love at work when Venus moves into the 6th house. So keep that in mind, whether you want to find love or you don't, at least you're forewarned, right? So that is pretty much the astrology for you guys for February. If you guys would like to know more about what February has in store for you, I'm going to put the link to the monthly horoscopes in the description box below. Check those out and don't forget to read for your sun, rising, and moon sign. So you definitely get the entire picture of what February looks like for you. All right, so now that we've gotten the astrology out of the way, let's get into the tarot and see what messages Spirit has for you for this month. All right, Libra, so we're going to start off with the oracle cards for an overarching broad message and then circle back in with the tarot for some more specific stuff. So first card out we have is Pyramid. So Pyramid talks about a sacred space. You know how they say your body is your temple? That's sort of the vibe that I'm getting right now. So I don't know, pyramids are also a sign of like ancient knowledge. So I'm interested to see what this really means. Let's pull some more cards and see what's really good. All right, we've got unfinished business. So this card is exactly what it sounds like. It's almost like a work of art that is unfinished, right? With all of this Aquarian energy in your 5th house of self-expression and creative endeavors, some of you may have creative endeavors that you haven't finished, that you may have put to the side, that you really may want to get back to. Being that you guys are ruled by Venus, Venus is all about art, it's all about music, anything creative. So maybe it's really time for you to create a sacred space for yourself and finish some of those creative endeavors that you have swept under the rug or forgotten about or put on the back burner. You get the point. Right? And with this being a 28, I don't know if you can see that, that reduces to a 10, which is a 1. So it's all about new beginnings. And like I said before, because you have this excess of energy in Aquarius, especially in your house of self-expression, it's about your individuality. And I feel like a lot of you are experiencing a reset or like a rebirth when it comes to yourself and the things that matter to you, the things that you are passionate about. And for some of you, that may be art. For others of you, being that this is falling in your 5th house, and that is the house of romance and dating, you may have unfinished business with someone that you dated in the past, particularly with the presence of Mercury that was retrograde in your 5th house. Of all the signs that we're going to get like an ex returning, it's probably you. So that could be the case also. Some of you may have a particular woman on your mind and you have unfinished business with her. For others of you, it's just creative endeavors. All right, and then we have growth. And this card says, I want to expand my consciousness and awareness. Like I said, you guys are experiencing a lot of energy in your 5th house, which is again the house of self-expression. And I feel like a lot of you are learning different things about yourself that you want to expand on. Like I said, you guys are having this rebirth, this renewal when it comes to your individuality and particularly the things that you're passionate about. And I think that you guys want to expand on that. Particularly, this gives me Jupiter vibes. And because Jupiter is also in your 5th house with everything else, I feel like when it comes to expressing yourself, you guys are going to want to expand. Some of you, this is giving me pregnancy vibes as well. So if some of you may be pregnant right now, Others of you may be looking to get pregnant in the near future. I feel like especially during Aquarius season, especially when Jupiter is in Aquarius, which it will remain for a good portion of this year, you might want to consider getting pregnant. If you're not trying to get pregnant right now, forewarned is forearmed. Let's just say that. And with this sacred space, I also see some of you are preparing your bodies to become pregnant. You're eating better. You're taking care of yourself so that you can create a sacred space with which to grow a baby. So congratulations to those of you who resonate with that message and for whom that applies. All right, so let's get into the tarot and see what else we have here. Okay, first card out, we've got Queen of Wands. So for some of you, and my eyes were drawn to this unfinished business. For some of you, this unfinished business you have may be with a Queen of Wands, all right? For others of you, this is just getting into your creativity and using your intuition to do so. Any of the queens in the tarot, that is sort of the intuitive aspect of whatever sign that they represent. So this is the intuitive nature of the fire signs, right? Of creativity. So using your intuition to create whatever it is that you want. And again, some of you, I'm feeling like some of you need a sacred space for this. I'm getting like when it comes to the things that you want to do, the things that you want to create, some of you are having like an issue with having the space to do so. Maybe you want to paint, or maybe you want to do something creative and you don't have the physical space to do so. Others of you don't have the mental space, that sort of peace of mind in order to get you on the vibration of creation, right? Some of you may have a lot of distractions. Some of you may be all over the place. So that also is what this sacred space, this pyramid, speaks to, in order to, again, use your intuition to create something new. All right, let's get some more cards out here. We've got the Star card. This is the Aquarius card, again, where you've got all that 5th house energy. Don't be afraid to wish on a star. It's like this is the time for you to really hone in on what it is that you're passionate about and listen to your heart. This is not about being led by your head right now, particularly for you, Libra. This is all about what you are passionate about, and don't be afraid to dream big. Some of you are also undergoing healing. I'm hearing fertility for some of you. So some of you, again, if you're not getting your body like in a sacred place, I feel like some of you are getting healing in order to be able to get pregnant. So fertility treatments or things like that. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, cool. So we've got, look at this. All right. You can't even make this up. The Empress, which is all about giving birth to something. So some of you, again, heavy pregnancy vibes. So take that as you will. Do with it what you will, all right? But for others of you, this is just creating something new. Some of you have not been in a space of creation for a long time. I feel like y'all have been distracted and all over the place. And now you're finally, I feel like this month is the month where you're really going to start to be able to create and manifest things in your life. Again, things that you're ultimately very passionate about. And look at this, the next card, the Emperor. So we've got a pair here, the Empress and the Emperor. So some of you, this is a relationship. Again, the 5th house rules romance and dating. Nothing serious, but I feel like for some of you, particularly the Libra women or anyone that carries a feminine energy, there has been a counterpart, and I don't feel like you've met this person yet. This person has been looking at you from afar. They see your Empress-like qualities and they like it. They like it a lot. And they've been like plotting, right? You see that chess piece in his hand? He's like plotting. He's like, how am I going to approach her? He or she, take it as it resonates, but the person that carries the masculine energy has been looking at you like, I like what I see. How am I going to approach her? This is a queen. I got to give her an offering. I have to approach her the right way. So some of you may have a secret admirer. Some of you may have someone who just has had their eye on you for a while and is plotting on how to make the right move to approach you. All right, I get like this person may be confused, you know, this person that's looking at you, they may be a little confused. They don't know how they feel about this situation. For others of you, when it comes to your creative abilities and what you want to create, I feel like you have a lot of options. I feel like now that this Aquarius season and this month of February is getting a lot of you to think about things that you haven't thought about for a long time. a lot of you are getting back to yourselves. And now that you're getting back to yourselves and you're realizing, hey, now I have the space, right? The sacred space in order to create, in order to manifest things in my life. But you're like, I don't know what I could do. I could do this, I could do that, I could be, I could be this, I could create that. So some of you are sort of confused, but it's not in a bad way. I don't get this as confusion like you're in the dark. I get this as like confusion as though you've got like mad options. And you're trying to figure out which way to go, what to manifest, what to create, what to work on. For some of you, this is your dating life. You're like, I could go out with him or I could go out with her, or I've got like 3 dates this week. So some of you are in that sort of energy, and that's good too. I feel like some of you used to be that way, and then life got serious and life kind of stifled that part of you, and now that part is sort of resurrecting, and it's a good sort of confusion. So enjoy it. Just be safe, obviously. All right, let's get 3 more cards with this deck. Oh, there we go. Perfect. We've got Temperance. So for some of you, I feel like this definitely has to do with a fire sign, a Sagittarius in particular. I also see Aries here and Taurus. Definitely Taurus vibes. So keep that in mind. That may resonate with you. For others of you, it's about moderation and sort of mixing things together, in the sense that, like I said, I feel like life was very serious for you for quite some time, and now you're getting back to that lighthearted, fun sort of energy, which is the essence of the 5th house. And it's almost like you've got to temper that. You can't just go from like responsibilities, obligations, life being serious, to all of a sudden like dropping your responsibilities and just having fun. It's like you've got to practice this in moderation. So Spirit is saying, I want you to have fun, but don't neglect your responsibilities as well, right? And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. So again, I feel like some of these, I feel like it may be a Taurus, perhaps, or another earth sign like Virgo or Capricorn, where this may apply. Others of you are creating things that are going to give you stability. And again, but it's using your intuition. It's not so much about racking your brain and thinking about the next plan or the next venture that you want to get into. I feel like this is searching your heart, thinking and feeling things that feel good. And what I mean by that is, let's say you have a creative endeavor like painting, right? Maybe the time has come for you to start painting and selling your paintings, expressing yourself. Maybe it's dance, maybe it's music, but whatever it is, it makes your heart sing, and it can make your bank account fatter. So think about that, right? Follow your passions when it comes to making money this month. And forever, really. Like, I feel like people don't say that enough. Yes, we all need money to survive. Yes, we all live in this 3D matrix where money, rules or whatever. But you should always do things with passion and intention. And I feel like that's the secret that you're going to realize to making money. It's about expressing yourself and finding pleasure and profit perhaps in things that are beautiful, particularly when it has to do with the arts, music, poetry, fashion even. Some of you, that's where your creativity lies. And if that's the case, let it fly. Like, really do what your heart calls you to do. I feel like that's what's ultimately going to strengthen your bank account. And who doesn't love that? All right. And then finally, we have the Wheel of Fortune. It's time. This is what this card is saying. It is time. The tides are turning. Like I said, a lot of you are going from this life being really serious and hard and frustrating to life sort of returning back to how it used to be, because you guys as a sign, you are very social. You guys like to have fun. My life is full of Libras. I actually have a Libra stellium, so I sort of resonate with this sort of energy. But there's so many people around me that are Libras, and let me tell you, y'all love to be out in the street. Y'all are always out. Y'all know everybody, socializing. Like, that is you. And I feel like you haven't been able to be you for quite some time. And now you're getting back to that. Spirit is like, it's time. It's time. That's dope. That's really dope energy. And yeah, I get this sense of lurking. There's you or someone. You're either lurking on someone's social media. You're like looking at them from afar. Remember when I said with this Emperor, he is just planning and plotting and trying to figure out how to approach somebody? I feel like that's either you or that's someone doing that to you. But whatever it is, someone has got their eye on an Empress. and they really want to approach this person. So I don't know what you're going to do with that. I get the sense that you're going to be sitting back and watching for a while. I don't see any action being taken at this time. I see just like research and figuring out the right time. You know what I'm seeing right now? You know how there's double dutch? And if it's your turn to get in between the ropes, it's like you're trying to figure out when's the best time to jump in. That's how this is being shown to me. So I feel like either you or someone who's looking at you is figuring out when is the best time to jump in. So, all right, with your lurking ass, just keep on watching, all right? Just don't be a creep about it. All right, let's see if I need any clarification here. I definitely want some clarification on this sacred space. So let's get into that. All right, why is this pyramid card here? And what does it symbolize for Libra? All right. We've got Six of Swords. So this is moving on, right, to a better place, particularly mentally. So I feel like your sacred space, which is your mind, you know, peace of mind is more valuable than all of the riches in the world. I feel like you are creating a sacred space in your mind. And I feel like this goes back to what I was talking about with you going from life being harsh and serious to it being more fun. You're getting your mind back so that it can get to that vibration of creation, and that is where your sacred space lives, right? Let's get one more on that. Very interesting perspective, if I say so myself. What do we have? All right, mature man. So this could relate to a mature man. I just also feel like this is getting you to mature in your thoughts. Some of you are protecting your thoughts also. I feel like your mindset has come to a place where you're not going to entertain anything that's going to lower your vibration. Or if you're not at that spot, I think that this message is going to get you to start thinking about that and implementing that sort of mindset going forward. A lot of you are protecting your thoughts by watching what you say, particularly what you say about yourself. Some of you are limiting your exposure to the news, to social media, where they're just talking about, you know, the craziness that's going on in the world, because A, your peace of mind is invaluable, and B, it's like you want to get back to yourself. I can't stress this enough about how you're over the whole seriousness of life, particularly with the pandemic, with things that have been going on around the world. You want to escape that, and you want to make your mind your safe and sacred space. And so you're really watching what you're saying, what you're doing, what you're ingesting, all of that stuff, whether it's on a mental level or even a physical level. Like I said before, some of you are preparing for pregnancy, others of you are just, you're getting back to yourself. So you're like, my body really is my temple, and I really need to take care of it. Okay, so let's get 3 astrology cards to close out the reading. All right. Difficult to come out. Okay, first card out, we've got second house, which is assets. The second house also talks about things which we value. So it could be like self-esteem, self-worth. It could be the value system that you have, whether it's like your criteria for dating, whether it's people that you want to engage with, like, you know, you get it. Yeah, values, worthiness, aesthetics. So a lot of you are really thinking about, again, this goes back to that sacred space that I was talking about before, especially when it comes to dating and interacting with people. It's like you've got a new value system, and you definitely only want to engage with people and talk with people and interact with people that are on the same frequency as you. It's all about maintaining that sacred space, right? Particularly in your mind. So if anyone doesn't vibe on that level, I feel like you're really not going to entertain them or let them into your personal space or whatever it is. So a lot of you are rethinking how you date and sort of the criteria for dating that you have. All right. Mars, interesting. And this says action. So for you guys, Mars is in your 8th house of transformation right now. So again, this goes back to everything I was saying before, particularly, and I'm being drawn to this growth card right now. You guys are undergoing a very big transformation, and I feel like you're taking an active part in it. Mars is also indicative of this Emperor card. So you guys are planning, plotting, and strategizing how you're going to change your life in a very profound way and taking the action steps to do so. That's why it's like you're protecting your sacred space at all costs, and you're not letting anything in that's going to negatively impact this transformation that you're actively seeking right now. Okay, let's get one last card here. Okay. We've got conjunction, which says empowerment. And I feel like this speaks to this Aquarius conjunction, stellium really, that is in your 5th house this month. It's empowering you to be your authentic self and to let your authentic self shine. All of this planetary energy is such a strong focus on you, your needs, your wants, your desires, and also the need to get back to yourself, which I feel like has been lacking for you, again, for the last, I don't know, couple of months, couple of years, you know, you get the point. But in any event, Libra, I feel like this is such an empowering month for you. I feel like you're really getting back to yourself, you're growing, you're expanding, and you're changing your life for the better. All right, Libra, that has been your astro forecast and tarot scope for the month of February 2021. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important message from this reading. Speaking of readings, if you'd like to book a personal reading with me or order an astrology report, those links are in the description box below, so don't forget to check those out. Also, while you're checking things out, don't forget to check me out on Instagram at Divine Feminine Works. Every week I do a series called The Week Ahead where I do a reading and a video just like this. It's a short and sweet, quick and dirty astro forecast and tarot scope for the upcoming week. So follow me there so you don't miss any of that. As always, Libra, everything I do is a labor of love and comes straight from the bottom of my heart. If you feel so inclined and would like to tip me by buying me a coffee, and tips are always greatly appreciated, I'll leave the link to that in the description box as well. Libra, my loves, as always, it is a privilege and an honor to read for you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time.